sank, and we lost 17 people. This is the time that accident has happened. I'm very disappointed in that company for not having people qualified enough to tell people to put life jackets on in conditions that are going down there. This is going to be a bad deal for a lot of people. I would like for everyone to keep those families in your thoughts and prayers. It's a terrible situation to lose those people when they're out on vacation trying to have a great time and a storm blows up. There's nothing you can do about it. Anybody that fishes big lakes knows how that happens, or big rivers as far as that goes, small ones too. But this was a terrible loss to our water boating community, and a lot of they did not have those life jackets and tell those people to put them on soon enough. But please keep these families in your thoughts and prayers. Terrible, terrible situation in Missouri. Doc, how's things going in Ohio?
No.
But,
it hurts.
Either yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. As far as regular Monday night show, I think we have missed 3 since it started. One time was for weather, and one time was for technical difficulties because of internet service. And I don't remember what the other time was, but we have prodded this along and done it for going into our 4th year. And I can't thank all of our viewers and people that watch our shows and watch our YouTube as we put them shows up on YouTube after they're done enough for taking their time out. And Doc, thank you so much for joining the show. You've been a great asset to it with some of the other people have left over the years, and you've been prodding along and putting up with me all this time. And I appreciate everything you do to help this show succeed.
Well, my pleasure. I didn't know if I would really enjoy doing this, but then commitment on our part, you and me, Cindy, big commitment. You know, every Monday we're tied up with it. It's going to be interesting if we get to go to the Mississippi River Monsters, how we're going to do that down there with everything that's going there.
Well, it is, and we'll be taking a hot spot down there this year to make sure that we have a I thought you wanted something. That we have everything we need. We've always been into internet connection issues down there. I know that that's a big store, and they got just no telling how many people that run across there, and people will tell you that it doesn't matter. Them systems can handle it. They cannot. And shows actually drag down internet service, so you've got to have a pretty good connection to make that happen. But we'll be taking a hot spot this year and making sure that we have everything going. We'll have to discuss. You and I'll sit down and visit with George and some of the other people involved and see if we're going to do it inside or outside. I would love to do it outside if the wind's not blowing too bad and if it's not 900 degrees.
Yeah.
Us figured guys fight that heat about as bad as we do the cold. But regardless, we're going to be there and we're going to have a great time. If you happen to be watching, you need to be thinking about a date where we can get updates for the event along with George Young. We need to get this set up to where anything that's changed or all the final stuff needs to be talked about. We need to make that happen so everybody that's going can be aware and make that done. So please contact us and let us know what we got to do. Now, Dustin Faul, welcome to Catfish Weekly.
Thank you, Lyle.
Pick up a live well for my new Alumacraft, and I'm going to talk about that for just a second. I got this thing, and it was 73 inches long and 15 inches tall and 16 inches wide, and I thought, wow, this thing is huge, and it is. The only thing that happened to that I didn't allow for is the boat has handles on each side for the people in the back to sit. And I didn't realize that the lid would hit those when it opened up, and it did. But 2 screws on each one of them, and they're removed. And, man, what a great install that was. I told you how I wanted to do it and what I wanted to happen. And I drilled 3 holes in that live well, one for the intake for the water to fill it, one for the drain, and one for the to let the water out of it, to drain the water out. The other one is for the overflow. And this boat had all this stuff in it to a small live well in the back from the factory. And the intake was long enough that when I put the fitting on there and drilled the hole through the boat, it snapped right on and fit. Now, these are flow right fittings that come from the factory on those. The drain for it, the hose was long enough, and I put a fitting on it and snapped it right into the drain on the bottom of the tank. And the only thing I really had to do was on the overflow, I put a T in the hose that was on it, and the original hose was 1.25 inches inside diameter. And I went down, and the one from Flow Right was 1 1/8 inches. So I drilled the hole and put the quick connector on it and run it through the back of the live well through the boat, and then made a from there down to the T. So everything on the boat that comes from the factory is hooked up and will work on this live well. And if you ever want to take the live well out, you just pull the live well out, hook everything back up, and on the T for the drain, it's got a screw-in thread. So you just screw in a plug in there, and everything works just like it did from the factory with the original live well. It was a real clean install, a great live well, awesome product, and I love my rod rack. The only downfall to them is they don't come up with a big enough live well. Now, this is a sponsorship boat. We've been working with Precision Power and Water Sports for several years, and we decided to go with this, and we knew going in we was going to have a live well made. There is a spot in the back of this boat where it has 2 pop-up seats. If I was the owner of this boat, I would remove that, and the only thing back there is a battery and 2 filters for the 2 motors that's on it, and I would reposition those, and I would slide that live well right back there, and it would be, you'd even have 16 inches across the back, more floor space. But since it's not, then this way it can be removed, and if it happened to be a walleye or a bass fisherman or somebody like that that doesn't need that big live well, they would be able to do that. But the boat itself is outstanding, and now it's got the live well in it that a cat fisherman needs. We're good to go the way it looks, and I have lockable latches on it. So if you decide you want to use it for storage while you're traveling to and from tournaments, all you got to do is shut them, lock them. That's really cool. It just worked out really good. I am going to add a pump in it to circulate the water in it, and we will be having oxygen run to it. But I can't thank you enough for everything you've done to make this an easy install.
Actually, I can't even post to the chat.
I did.
Yeah, I saw